I'm a lean spinner, in case you haven't figured out who I am. Some of you met me, and some of you haven't. I'm one of the Diversonomix partners, and I'm going to be the first welcomer. And there's going to, as you might have noticed, that we have some changes in the program. But before I get into that, I just want to thank our sponsor, Recca Benkaiser, who's out there, has a booth, and NAACP, and Turo for assisting us with this conference today. And special thanks to Kira Wesley-Busher, who's outside. I don't think she can hear me thanking her in here, who helped with the conference preparation. So I just wanted to thank everyone who came too. But you'll probably notice that the program is very different from the brochure. Have you all noticed that? Yeah. Now the reason is we've had some controversy. I love controversy. It makes for interesting thing at life. And because this conference is at the first medical school in Harlem, and it's a DO school, we became aware of a problem after the conference is already planned, like a month ago. The problem was a diversity problem, ironically. Can you imagine a diversity company with coming to a school to do a diversity conference, and the problem is diversity? So, of course, we are going to be part of the solution, Diversonomix, because that's what we do for a living.
First of all, I'm very proud. I'm very proud to be a dean who is part of a project to take a shell of very valuable real estate in New York and change its mission and destiny to be one that will address healthcare disparities and issues of complexity and diversity within medical school classes. I'm very proud of the product that we produce.
This subject matter is an American problem. It's not a true college problem. Math and science in the African American and Latino community is dismal. You can't come to Truro College or any medical college unless you are proficient in certain subject matters. Don't look at me strange. Look at me because I'm telling you the truth. It starts with the children not having a Coke or cola in the morning time, but having milk and cereal and a prepared breakfast in the home. Health should be a priority for us in our home, what we shop, what we buy, and most certainly what we eat. That's where we began to address the health disparities, early in age with our children. When I get my young people to begin to look at science and math and not the name of the gene, and stay all day, stay from 8 in the morning till 6 until they can conquer the subject matter, then I don't have to worry about who's the dean at Truro College. I will say who the dean will be here, because they'll be prepared and ready for the doors that I worked so hard to open. They are open now, but I must have my children, your children, prepared to enter. Thank you much.
Good morning, everyone. It is so good to be here this morning.
As president of the Kelly Fund for Lupus, Inc., I established that as a mission to educate the community about lupus, because I found that the African American community, though affected more so about a disease, knows so little about the disease. Who is responsible for that? I'm not blaming you as healthcare professionals, but I am saying the disparity exists so much there. And I am saying that because as president I make it my business to go into the minority communities to educate. In the African American community, doctors are not trusted. Investigations are not trusted. Experimentation still not trusted. So there is just this distrust that exists. So these drug companies are now going out and they're saying, please trust us because we want to help. There is just this disparity, there is just this distrust, there is an obligation that I think doctors and people like me, and we must go out, we must educate, we must help. We, as all people who care, have to do something. I'm doing my something, and I pray and hope that you'll do your part too. Thank you so much.
I've been here since its inception in school, and being part of the community, it's really spectacular to see what's going on here and how it's grown. I echo Dr. Goldberg's words in trying to develop education here and give the students the best possible learning experience. We go out and we try and canvass the best faculty available. Dr. Dukes, I mean, I 100% agree. It starts in the home. The students are understanding what we're about, and we need to give them the best that they deserve.
Let's talk about the criminal justice system and why we should care. Who it impacts. It impacts offenders, ex-offenders, families of offenders. It impacts each and every one of you, the community, your tax dollars, the economy, the budgets, and so on, because we seem to be going in the opposite direction as to how the monies are being spent, and we'll talk about that. First and foremost, the United States has more prisoners than any other country in the world. 1 in 100 adults are in prison or jail in the United States. Approximately 650,000 individuals return to communities from U.S. prisons annually in the United States, but we have a very high recidivism rate. And the reason being that we just release them back into the community with no aftercare, with no drug abuse treatment, with no housing. So basically, they end up re-offending again. Racial disparity in the criminal justice system is very simple. It really means the proportion of the racial ethnic group within the control system. When you look at that number, it's greater than the proportion of that group within the general population. Let's talk about this point of first contact, something that you may or may not have heard of. The point of first contact can occur through police response to 9/11 calls, and this is where we see the idea of racism may play in. At the point of first contact, whether it's a traffic stop, whether it's police contact in the community, whether it's with a school administration, we find that there is more discretion that is afforded to the police officer. So when they're dealing with a white person, chances are, especially if it's a white youth, they may say, I'm going to call your parents and have them pick you up. If it's a black youth, most often, and again, the statistics show, you're going to jail, okay? So that's where the unconscious racism may come in, or even the conscious racism. But what we're seeing as the major culprit to racial disparities in the criminal justice system is this whole idea as to institutional racism. Because the bottom line is, until we are all free, none of us can be free. Thank you.
Well, I believe time has been spent very well. We've had some awesome speakers here and some great information that has been given. But now we want to make way for our guest speaker, our keynote speaker,